Are you interested in saving the world in 30 seconds? If the answer is yes, then I have a game just for you. If the answer is no, stick around, take a gander, cause it still just might be up your alley and you don't know it yet. It's your boy Samurai Jack, and I'm here to present to you a brand new time-bending action roguelike called Ascend-to-Zero. And I have to give a special shout out to Flyway Games and Terms for providing me key to review this game. So a bit more about the availability for Ascend-to-Zero. This is currently available on Steam and Xbox to include Xbox Game Pass only. We also have a demo on Steam, so if you want to check it out, I'll have the link down below so you can just check out the Steam link or just check out the demo. For my Xbox Game Pass people, it's on Game Pass Ascend-to-Zero. You should be able to find it. Now, on to the actual premise of the story. So the main overarching premise is, again, is to save the world in 30 seconds. That's the whole overarching premise, to save the world. 30 seconds plus, not so much, but the whole overall thing is to save the world. You just have the time limit of 30 seconds because that is all you have because of the ability that you do have, which allows you to stop time. And you're also in the time machine. So think about Dragon Ball Z with Trunks going back into the past to help Goku and the gang out. So you get sent back to the past by a scientist due to an unfortunate circumstance that happened with monsters attacking everybody and just destroying everything. So you get sent back to the past to stop what's happening currently in the present timeline. And once you get sent back to the past, you meet this other entity that you don't know the name of just yet, but they reveal themselves a little bit later, saying like, hey, this is who I am. My name is Mimesis. And they let you know what they're doing. They let you know what your primary objective is, and they help you out a little bit and send you along your way to basically stop what's going on, is to save the world. And as you're doing that, you are slowly rescuing allies to help you figure out what's going on as well, and to help further your understanding about what's going on and how to stop what's going on. And that is relatively the general gist of the game. So now, time for the combat. So the combat will kind of remind you of Vampire Survivors and the auto attacking. So your weapons do auto attack for you. You can equip to up to 6 different weapons and they all can auto attack for you. Now, where you come in as a player is being very aware of when to stop time and when to start time. The heavy emphasis of stop time is very important because you have a very limited amount of time. You have ways to gain more time, but that's very far few in between. So you have to be very aware of how much time you have and your resources that's available to you. And as you're playing along, you acquire tech chips, which is the roguelike mechanic in itself, which helps you build your character. And you also get additional things as well to help make your build better. But overall, the combat is simplistic. It's very simplistic because it's, of course, auto attacking. Your skills when it comes to time stopping adds a bit more flair to it. What really is the attention demanding part is the enemies. The further along you get, the more difficult enemies become, and the more they can attack with AoEs or certain straight lines attacks that can track you very quickly. So it is up to you to stop the time to defeat them before they try to defeat you. And there's other kicker. If you perish at any point in time while you're fighting the enemies, they can reduce the amount of time that you have left over. Let's say you have 30 seconds left over. If you die just that fast, you'll go from 30 seconds to probably about 22 seconds because the time loss depends on how much time that you have in total. So the less time you have, the less time that you lose, but the more time you have, the more time that you lose. So the combat is simple, but it's also very attention demanding because you always have to watch where you're at all times. There are some settings in the game to allow you to turn on the visual effects so you can see better. They kind of help, but not so much. They kind of help, but not so much. But that's the general gist of the combat. That's really about it about the game in itself. It's one of those games where it's a roguelike, so I can't say too much about it without really spoiling it. But I can say this though, progression wise, you do have a lot of things offered to you progression wise. So you have a skill tree that you acquire later on in the game, to also include actual collecting data. You know how most games you collect data and you don't really get rewarded for it, but in this you do get rewarded for collecting data about basically everything: enemies, your weapons, your tech chips. Basically everything that you do acquire in the game is a data collection, and you get rewarded for acquiring all that data. And then you also can buy weapons, well, buy temporary weapons from a quartermaster, and then you also upgrade your weapons, upgrade yourself. Then you also have the ability to upgrade the gas that you do acquire later on in the game, and then also to include, you have 6 different avatars that you can use. You heard me correctly, 6 different avatars. They might add 4 more avatars depending on how long they keep update the game and how many updates they add to the game, but there's currently 6 different avatars inside the game, and every single one of them offers something different. And they all offer something different. They all offer something different. They all have their own tech chips, which is particularly for that avatar, to not include the general tech chips that is for all avatars. So they all have their own different playstyle, and you can build them however you want to build them. Now, some tech chips might not be as friendly as others. It's just up to you as a player to determine whether or not you want to use that chip. For data reasons, you want to get out the way and use it. But for playthrough reasons, if you're trying to actually progress the story and progress your objectives, I wouldn't recommend doing it. But overall, you do have a lot of progression options and a lot of builds that you can do later on inside the game, especially once you get to the end game. You have so many build options that you can just choose from. That it's pretty good for the price tag that it has. You have a lot of content that you can do. I currently have a little over 30 hours in the game myself, and I can definitely say it's definitely a fun time that you can just play and just lose yourself in. Now, here comes some of the issues that I do have with the game. One of my biggest issues is once you start a run, you cannot end that run without getting kicked back to the starting point. So once you start the run, you can't suspend the run like most roguelikes, where it's like, okay, I'm done for now, I want to suspend the run. You can't do that in this. So you have to just finish the run out or just die on purpose and just run out of time. My other issue is there's some things, so it's particularly one of the avatars, and the name is called the Scarlet Pirate. There was a bug in the game, and I don't know when it's gonna get patched out. But if you see this video, it's already patched out. Hey, huzzah! But as of right now, once you get too much AoE for that particular avatar, it can deactivate some of your abilities and skill, like your time stopping skill. Once you resume time, it just deactivates all of that. So that's my other issue with it, is I can't really use one of my second favorite avatars because of that bug feature there. So hopefully it does get patched out before any other people acquire it. If you do acquire it, just be very aware that if you do use that avatar, that you might at some point might not be able to use the avatar to its full capacity due to that visual effect and the actual bug. But that's way later on. You have to get to like the 3rd stage where that really starts taking effect. Well, I would say third, like somewhere halfway through the 2nd stage, it starts taking effect then, but it really kicks in on the 3rd stage. So just be very aware of that. But the 1st stage up to the second half of the first half of the 2nd stage, you're fine. Outside of that, give the game a try. The game is fun. I enjoyed the game a lot. I like what they did there. It's a South Korean game, and so if you know, South Korea has been putting out a lot of good games. I haven't had an issue with a South Korean game at all so far. Like, they released Lies of P. They have this new game called Dragon Sword Awakening, and some more games I can't name off the top of my brain right now. But so far, South Korea has been really putting out some really good games. Other than that, that's all for me, and I will see y'all on the next video. Peace.